Python is an easy to learn and powerful object-oriented programming language. In this video, we shall see about Python and how it works, and then the difference between interpreter and compiler, and the fundamentals of Python such as character sets and tokens. For tokens, we will be discussing only about keywords, identifiers, and punctuators. Literals and operators will be discussed in the next videos. So now let us have a look at each one of these fundamentals of Python. So here we have the definition of a programming language, which are the set of instructions to the computer. In one of the videos that we already discussed, we have learned that a computer works under the sets of instructions. The set of instructions or commands to be executed by a computer is called a program. A computer cannot work by itself. It needs a set of instructions or commands that are to be specified by the programmer in the form of programming language. Python is one of the programming language which is very popular and easy to learn. A computer does not understand human languages such as English, Hindi, or any languages that can be understood by human beings. Therefore, a computer needs programming language for instructions. So now let us see how does it works. Since the computer cannot understand human language, it needs an interpreter to interpret or to translate the commands provided by the users to the computer. Now let us have a look about an interpreter. An interpreter converts the language into machine language line by line, and it is different from a compiler, which is also another type of translator. For example, if you are in a place whereby you don't understand the local language of that place, obviously you will need a translator, maybe your friend or relatives, to translate that language into a common language that you both understand. So when the translation is being done line by line or in the form of sentence, then that is an example of an interpreter. That means it converts line by line. Whereas a compiler converts the language into a machine language by converting it in one go. For example, when someone is translating all the stories at one go or telling stories to you in the language which is common, so that is a compiler, whereas an interpreter translates line by line. A compiler will translate in one go. We need to have an interpreter, that is a Python interpreter, installed on our computer if we want to work with Python. We can use any online Python interpreter. Now in this figure you can see we are using a Python shell. As shown here in figure 3.1, this is a Python shell. Here you can see the symbols which looks like that, and this is called a Python prompt. So if you see that those three symbols are there in your screen, that means you are able to write the commands using Python. So while learning any language, We obviously need to learn also the characters of that language. For example, here in the programming language using Python, we also need to learn the character set of Python. A character set is a set of valid characters that a language can recognize. And a character set represents any letter, digits, special symbols, white space, and other characters. Letters means A to Z. Digits means the numbers 0 till 9. Special symbols can be all those symbols available in the keyboard. And white space mean the blank spaces. Other characters are the ASCII and Unicode characters, which you might not know as a beginner. Just like in any language, suppose in English language, when we have learned the letters A to Z, we would like to also learn about the words, the punctuations, the sentences, and so on. So similarly here, let us learn about tokens. In a passage of text, individual words and punctuation marks are called tokens or lexical units or lexical elements. Now let us discuss about the following tokens such as keywords, identifiers, and punctuators. Only these three will be discussed in this video, whereas literals and operators will be discussed in the next videos. So now let us have a look at these token types. So first we have the keywords. Keywords are reserved words. That means the words that convey a special meaning to a language compiler or to an interpreter. While using keywords, keep in mind that Python is case sensitive. As you can see in this table, there are words which starts with capital letters and there are some words which starts with small letters. So use it exactly as given in the table. You cannot mix up small letters and capital letters since Python is case sensitive. And the words are reserved for special purpose and must not be used as any other names. So here, when I said any other names, it means the identifiers. So identifiers are the names used to identify a variable or function or other entities. Identifiers are the fundamental building blocks of a program. These are the names given to different parts of the program, and you have to follow the following rules while using the identifiers. Here, uppercase means capital letters or lowercase means the small letters, and the only symbol that you can use is the underscore sign. So remember that the names should begin with only uppercase, lowercase, or underscore sign, and it cannot start with a digit such as 0 or 9, but it should be a combination of characters A to Z and followed by numbers or underscore, and it can be of any length. And it should not be a keyword or reserved word as shown in table 3.1 here. So for example, you cannot say that student name, that means the name of your friend or your classmate or even your name, is spelling FALSE, which is false or true. Or we cannot also use special symbols as shown here, but we can use only an underscore in betweens, like a combination of characters from A to Z, 0 to 9, and the underscore. So remember these rules while using an identifier. So to specify identifier, you can follow these rules given here. For example, here we have the marks. It says marks maths. So this is one of the example of an identifier. That means the name of the subject variable. The variable that you want to store the subjects is marks maths, marks English, marks IP, and EVG. So these are example of the identifiers. You can also give any name such as first name, student's name, friend name, colors, fruit, flowers, and so on. But you remember to follow the given rules for identifiers. So now let us have a look at the punctuators. Punctuators are symbols that are used in programming languages. So while learning Python, we need symbols such as these given here on the screen. There are also symbols in the keyboard whereby you can use. And these symbols are given in the form of character sets. So remember that punctuators are the symbols that we can use in Python programming language that we are learning in this video. So here we have learned keywords, identifiers, and punctuators. So in the following videos, we will be learning about literals and operators. Thank you for watching, and do watch the videos for literals and operators also.